All right, you ready to start? You got water and everything?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, cool. Hi, watchers. Welcome to Watching Whatever. I'm Nathan.
Danny.
We're here back today for Shogun. We're going to watch episode 4. I'm really excited now for this show. If you've seen episode 1, you saw that at the end of it, we weren't completely sure if we were sold on the show or not. It was a little bit of a slow start and it didn't quite fully appeal to me at that point, but after episode 2, it was done. I'm hooked on the show and I can't wait to watch the rest of it. I know Danny was talking about it and he felt the same way too. So we're gonna go into episode 4 here. At the end of episode 3, they escaped on the boat, and the last thing we saw was Blackthorn and Toranaga having a little swimming competition.
Right. I think Tornaga just made him like a vassal, and so he's like kind of one of his men now, right?
Yeah, yeah. He
Okay.
gave him some kind of high honor. I forgot what it was called, but I'm sure we'll see it in the preview if they show any.
Right.
Um, Couple of
Like
things I want to point
Hakamoto.
out. Is that what it's called?
I don't know. Is
Oh
that what
yeah,
it says? Say that again.
Hatamoto. I wrote it down. I did write it down.
Hatamoto.
Yeah,
All right.
Hatamoto. Um, Couple of the quick things that I did see. I saw some shorts of the actors and them talking a little bit. Obviously, the girl Mariko, she was born in New Zealand and she grew up in New Zealand. So one thing I was curious about is how good is her Japanese, right? Because
Mhm.
since neither one of us speak Japanese, we can't tell if she has any kind of an accent or how fluent it is. So I'm very
Right.
curious if anyone watching, understands Japanese and knows it well to let us know if her accent is actually fluent or if it's a little off. And not that it's a big deal. I'm just curious about that. So, all right. So we're gonna get started here on episode 4. Before we do, everyone joining us here on YouTube, thank you for watching with us. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel and leave us your comments. Those of you watching us on Patreon, we thank you for your support, and we hope to keep seeing you on, and hope that you keep watching with us on here. All right, we're gonna start the show. That's right. I actually had a thought about her after losing her baby.
Okay.
Is she gonna blame Toranaga and somehow become a hindrance to him?
Oh, very interesting.
The fact that she was focused on a little bit makes me think that obviously she's gonna play some kind of part.
Right.
I'm gonna say she's gonna be a hindrance.
My prediction was they were gonna offer her up to Blackthorn, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
So that's a spy for Toranaga.
藪重様と藪重様のお客人である関東のご領主吉井虎長様をこの村にお迎えすることに相なった。
Ugh, just washing off that blood.
This is his son, right?
Yeah, if I remember correctly.
Uh-huh.
Or no. Was that?
Oh no, his son got left
Was that?
behind.
Yeah, no. That
Yeah,
was
my bad.
what's his name's nephew?
Oh yeah.
Asano.
Asano's? Yeah.
Hiromatsu. Yeah, Hiromatsu's nephew.
Right. That's right.
The one thing I don't think either one of us really brought up during watching these shows, but we never really talked about the score. And I gotta say, the score in this movie, it's got some really good music to it.
Yeah, it's pretty epic, man. Yeah, I mean, now that I think about it, I didn't really like notice it that much, and that I think is like a good score. When it's
Yeah.
right. And now I'm gonna be like super paying attention to it.
どうかその儀ばかりはご容赦くださりませ。旗本になられたからには安心様にも奥が手に入ります。
Right.
Oh, dude, you were right.
一体私が何をいたしたと申されますか。私は虎長様を信じておりまする。わずか1年の辛抱者。半年ならと申しておりまする。
大老衆が父上の後釜
That's
に
the son.
キャツラの操り人形を任命してしまう前に
They don't look anything alike. I feel bad that I got them mixed up.
Well, to be fair, we didn't really get a whole lot of them to really
That's
recognize them.
All right.
なんと大老職辞されたと
He's like, dude, when are you gonna let me know what's going on?
破滅ですぞ無料承知申し上げることここに至っては直ちに切腹されるがしかるべき策にございます
Zing.
Whoa.
藪重様
Hours.
All loyal to 虎長様
今旗本に成り上がりよってな屋敷を与えられたゆえ手配を頼みたい
What is a
そこに
hatamoto?
奴の性質と通常務める戸田の御家殿も住まうことになる
Someone let us know what a hatamoto is.
安仁様 This is 大見様 The lord of this village
Actually, we've met. Oyo Shao. And fuck yourself. You sniveling little shitbag.
太閤殿下のご意志を汚す者どもに天誅が下されんことを
父上は急ぎのようで出立される父上が戻るまでに大砲隊を鍛え上げておかねばならない
I could see why he's like your favorite actor, dude. I really like that guy.
He's awesome, dude.
Should have brought the cheap stuff because he left. I wonder what happened to the rest of his men.
Oh yeah.
Are they still in prison?
How many do you think survived?
Oh,
They
oh,
safe?
they washed all that blood off. Maybe they killed them all.
My men. I'd like to see them now. Where are they?
実は皆様別の場所にお移りになりまして安全な場所でございます
I'm sorry, I don't.
立ち入りは禁じられておる
I am afraid you are forbidden from boarding without permission Your men were brought to Toranaga-sama's city of Edo for their safety
Your lord and I had an arrangement.
You're quite mistaken Your ship and crew now belong to Toranaga-sama
Her attitude is kind of changed.
Yeah. I was just thinking that. Right? It's kind of no more being helpful, but just kind of like spiteful almost.
Yeah. Maybe it's because she's jealous.
This is Uejiro, the gardener
Konnichiwa, Uejiro-sama.
Sorry, we do not use sama for Uejiro It is not proper
Whatever location this is in Canada, it's beautiful.
Why have I been given all this?
It is only fitting for a hatamoto
No, wait a minute. How long am I expected to be here?
Nagakato-sama says training will take at least 6 months. You agreed to train these men, you remember?
I do, yes. For the return of my men and my ship.
As Hatamoto, you have been given a home, a generous salary of 240 koku a year,
I don't want any generous cuckoos.
and Fuji-sama as a consort.
I have a feeling that Fuji is
Well, I'm sure she's very nice, but I don't want
gonna end up
pillow on her, Neo. Do anything pillow at all.
end up growing fond of him. Maybe not romantically, but where she ends up liking him as a person. So he's
I
basically a
refuse all
prisoner.
of this.
Yeah.
I came here under clear terms with Toranaga. Sorry, Toranaga-sama. Now he's bloody vanished. And I'm bloody prisoner all over again. Just with better living quarters.
Yeah.
虎長め大阪では殿に命を救われておきながら後足で砂をかけるような真似を
南蛮船の件を虎長に密告しよった不届き者は見つかったか
まだ見つかっておりません。
近江殿はまだお若い足の村を一人で預かるのは血と荷が重すぎましょう
今頃石田はわしのことを裏切り者だと扱っとるじゃろ
再び大老5人が揃わないと決まったわけではございません。また虎長様断罪の目がのうなったわけでもございません。なれば叔父上には鉄砲と大砲が残りまする。それを石戸様に献上すれば。
So much plotting.
Yeah.
She's got to play a role too, right? Isn't that kind of the trope with a lot of these type of shows and movies.
She won't let me alone. Wherever I go, she is.
It's not customary for one's consort to sleep while he's awake.
But it's a foolish custom.
You know, the working woman is someone that most people kind of ignore, but yet they're the ones who have like the most information because they hear everything.
It's because like women are undermined.
And especially those women who are, you know, working in the
If I may,
sex industry, they
I
just
believe
kind of.
Fujisama merits better. She's my late husband's niece. Accomplished and highborn.
Well, that's absolutely wonderful for her.
And recently, her husband and infant son were put to death.
Shouldn't she be grieving then? Instead of following around marooned Englishmen?
We grieve those we have lost by continuing their fight.
Rubbish. Child has no fight.
Do not be fooled by our politeness, our bows, our maze of rituals. Beneath it all, we could be a great distance away.
Who falls for who first? Does Blackthorn fall for the girl first, or does the girl fall for him first?
I'll take the girl falling for him first.
Okay.
What about you?
Just to make it interesting, I'll say he falls for her first.
Okay.
Omi-sama insists it is forbidden to bring your weapons today. Please.
鉄砲渡さるか。いいえ。
アンジー様におっしゃってくださりませ。鉄砲は私にお預けくだされと。お預けくださりませ。
Tell this milk dribbling fucks me. I'm ready to go.
He insults him every chance he has.
丁重に詫びておられまする。
鉄砲。
Oh,
お引き
damn.
取りくださりませ。
And she's not afraid, right? Because she was willing to take herself out after her kid was
Yeah.
done in.
He's gonna fall for her first. I think I'm right. 'Cause she's badass.
I thought he's gonna fall for Mariko.
Ah, that's true.
So
That
now
was our
there's two
original
people without the
prediction.
potential. Yeah, there's two women
Love
that's the
triangle,
potential.
man.
I'm gonna say he falls for Mariko, but with Fuji, they're gonna have like a friendly relationship.
Oh,
That's what I'll say.
that's a good prediction, man.
Although, I mean, again, I could be completely wrong, and he and Fuji are, you know, become an item. Hey, fellow watchers, don't forget to like and subscribe, and check us out on our Patreon. Links are in the description below. And now back to our program.
Well then, let me tell you about tactics. I will begin by describing for you a great battle. We call it the Siege of Malta.
When did this battle occur? So you yourself did not fight in this battle?
Well, as I may have mentioned to your lord on multiple occasions, I'm a sea pilot, yes? Gun tactics are useless compared to the fine art of English naval warfare. Anchor my ship and cannon within a few thousand yards, and your army could breach the castle walls without so much as an arrow stretching to graze their cheeks.
後ろ。大筒が的に当たるなんてな。
大筒が的に当たるはずがない。
Clear the hubs and fire!
Ooh. It just grunts.
ガツの大筒は物が違うのかもしれんな。
Accurate? That's crazy, dude.
I mean, you gotta think it's math, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And if you have experience with it, think about like a modern day. We have the mortars, and before they were using all the smart technology, they would just get a location, and they were pretty accurate.
Geometry.
Yeah, which I was never good at.
Kudasai.
Okay, yeah, they're falling for each other. They just showed a shot of that girl at home, like by herself.
Now line your vectors. Excellent work.
Yeah, they just keep going back and forth between the two of them.
My Erasmus is a single ship, but a fleet would be something else entirely. My men in Edo could help me build them a navy.
I'm telling you, they're dead.
Your crimes against the Portuguese. I've read them in your own words.
Those were Catholics trying to kill him in Osaka.
Yes, trying to kill you.
Because they fear what I can offer him. A modern navy, ships built for war, would be to his benefit.
Oh, earthquake.
Jeez. The hell was that?
Just a baby earthquake.
A baby what?
Oh, that's right. You probably never experienced one.
You will most certainly experience more while you are here. There are also tsunami that come from the sea and fires that break out in the villages and cities.
All
This is why our houses are
foreshadowing.
built to go up as quickly as they come down.
Oh yeah.
Because death is in our air, in sea and earth.
Wow.
We live and we die. We control nothing beyond that.
人通るぞ大きく
藪重様がお越しになると村中ピリピリいたしますゆえ近江様が私どものお殿様であればよろしゅうござりましたのに
Putting thoughts in his head.
Yeah.
率いておるのは江原上善でござる。
You see those men, huh?
戦支度をしておるようじゃの。
どうかお分かりいただきたい。あの夜虎中が逃げ出すなどとそれがしはいささかも知らなんだのじゃ。
大坂に戻り
何もかも誤解でござる。それがしを殺せば石堂様は得難い味方を失うことになるぞ。それがしがこれまで見てきた大筒とは物が違う。キリシタンが金丹を縮み上がらせる代物よ。お主とは古頼む。今宵はここに泊まってくれ。明日大筒の演習がある。それを見て役に立たぬと思ったならこの首慎んで石堂様に差し出そう。ご一行は明日大筒の演習を見物なさる。我らの大筒に何ができるかお目にかけるためでござる。上善殿が大坂でその守備をお伝えくだされば。
せいぜい恐れ入らせてもらおうか。
大坂に呼ばれた。お父上を裏切るなどと疑われただけでも不愉快千万。
This guy's so crazy.
行けば切腹は免れませぬぞ
理不尽じゃがもはや万事休すじゃ。
手立てがあるやもしれません
That's gotta be so crazy though, having to play both sides.
He will be declared a fugitive for refusing their order, but if he returns to Osaka, he will no doubt be ordered to commit seppuku.
Blackthorn's gonna figure out a way out for him.
What have you got there?
Nato?
This may be not for you. Anjin様が無礼を詫びたいと仰せでござりまする。
I believe this is how you offer gifts, so excuse my crude wrapping. Those are the best guns a sailor can have, and I'll miss that one greatly. I'll teach you how to use them. She'll be the most fearsome lady in the Japans.
She brings him a gift.
Her husband's sword.
Husband's sword? Yeah, I was just thinking that. Her husband's swords.
亡き父の形見にござりまする。
Well, her father's.
私は刀も持っておらぬお方の性質にはなれませぬと。
Katachika no kojirimasuru.
ござりますると申します。
I like Nato.
I
But
remind you that you are under no obligation to try.
most people have most people have a hard time with the consistency of this dish, if not the smell, right? Because some people can't do the smell of doenjang
It's a bit like cheese.
and that.
Very stinky. Possibly spoiled cheese. But, quite enjoyable.
Shows he's like open-minded, right? Willing to
Yeah.
try new stuff.
上善目が我らの作法を一同に中心することを危惧しております
誰も彼もわしを見くびっておる
お父上のお許しがないまま戦を始めるのはいかがかと
So his bravado and his wanting to prove himself, he's gonna make a
Right.
mistake somewhere soon, right?
父上に文を送るでないぞわしに考えがある
Sorry, Fuji-sama said you were off on a walk. I came here to thank you for your gift to Fuji-sama. I also wanted you to know you're wrong about my service in Ajiro. It has nothing to do with the church.
We saw that in episode 1.
I have not told you my family name, but it is well known in Japan. Many years ago, a great injustice stole everything from me. For a long time, I have been unable to seek resolution for what happened. But recently, Toranaga-sama offered me a way.
What sort of resolution?
Revenge.
What is the name of it again? The city of your birth?
London.
So I'm gonna guess that her father was killed, her family was killed, and their name put to ruin.
What would you do there on a night like this?
Well, if you were with me, I'd take you to see my queen.
Would she receive us?
Oh, yes, I'm sure. And we tour the grounds, Richmond Palace.
So he's somehow related to the nobility. It's not like
I don't
anyone can just take tour the grounds of the palace and do all that
Right.
stuff.
Yes, we have tragedies.
And to meet
Doomed
the queen.
lovers, cursed kings.
Doomed lovers, cursed kings.
And after that,
Suppose we go for a walk. We eat sampo suru along the Thames. You can almost forget yourself. And all your troubles and your past. And they all just disappear.
and then you are free.
Yes, I think so.
That was a pretty
Is it-
intense scene.
Yeah.
She's going into his room. Mariko snuck into his room. Okay, this moved faster than I expected. I thought it would be a few more episodes before this happened.
Uh-huh.
This is why they were playing it so hard.
Right.
It's so dark, I can't see anything anyway.
Turn up the brightness.
Right.
Think Fuji's gonna be jealous.
Jealous? I don't think so, because I don't feel like she has that kind of feeling for him.
Oh.
I think it's more of a level of respect they're gonna build. That's my guess.
Right. That's a good prediction, man. I was like totally wrong about this whole thing.
You seem in good spirits.
After a night of good company.
Night of good shagging.
The courtesan was acceptable then. I'm glad to hear it. Fuji-sama and I thought she would make a pleasing gift.
I don't understand. You're not
saying
that was a very thoughtful gift.
So they had to pretend it was someone else.
I was gonna ask, that was her, right?
Right.
Okay. Just again, it was so dark, I really couldn't tell.
Right.
I just guessed that it was her. But yeah. What do you think he's gonna do?
I think he's gonna knock him out. He's gonna take him out. I mean.
Yeah, that's my thought. I thought he's gonna do something to get rid of them.
Yeah. He's gonna stop
Probably
the
have
war.
his men ambush. Yeah.
エバラ上善己にはもはや我慢がならぬ父上の名を侮辱した報いじゃ今こそ
Oh, he's
成
gonna
敗してくれ
challenge him. He's gonna die.
刀を収めなされ
Oh, that I did not expect.
吉井虎長の息子吉井中野が命じたことじゃ
とんでもない挑発行為にござるぞこの件はお父上にご通信いたしますぞ
構わぬむしろ父上に知っていただきたい
Blew them a piece. Holy crap! Oh my
Dang,
gosh!
so accurate, man.
Oh my gosh!
It's like snipers, but with cannons.
Yeah.
外せ
Whoa.
At this
I mean,
point,
I knew he was gonna do
you know,
something crazy, but I didn't know it was gonna be like
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like a sword fight.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Damn.
Oh my gosh! Alright, hold on. Give me a second. Dude, this is crazy. It's because the whole, whole 50 minutes of the show was more about the development of the characters of Blackthorn and Mariko and Fuji, and they're, Mariko and Blackthorn falling in love with each other, and then just bam, right? It's like it's that same. It gave me that same feeling watching this at the end, like what happened with the Red Wedding, right? Just like holy crap.
I think like if once you said that, I was trying to think of if there could be like a parallel or what's like the connection between the two storylines, and maybe it's kind of like the fact that the two characters, Mariko and Blackthorn, have now kind of crossed that line, right?
Hmm.
To like hook up is similar to now crossing that line and to start the war, right? We've
Yeah.
had this kind
Oh,
of
very good.
right. We've had this like slow kind of build up, and we see like like the signs are clearly there, and then finally we see them hook up, but under like kind of like a pretense, like, oh, how did you enjoy your like courtesan or whatever? And he's like,
Coruscant,
yeah,
yeah.
man, yeah, and then and then here we see the same thing happening with like clearly there was gonna be a war, and the son kind of used this pretense of a demonstration to finally set things off, right?
Hmm.
Man, but the cannons, the accuracy, like, I mean, we should have, yeah, I mean, they're hitting like these targets that are about human size, but when you actually see
Yeah.
it hit a person, it's shocking, man. Wow.
Like I had for a brief moment, I had thought, okay, they're gonna use like, he's gonna once he started talking about talking to that guy at night, don't tell my father, and I'm gonna figure out something.
Right.
I first of all I thought Blackthorn was gonna figure something out, and
Okay.
after that I thought, well, this guy's gonna use the cannons, but then they were all there, so I was like, okay, so he I thought he's gonna challenge him to a duel and fight it out,
Right.
and that's why I was like, oh, he's gonna end up dying because the guy's a better swordsman than him. And then the next thing you know, the cannon just fires and they're blown into pieces.
Man.
Man,
Uh, One thing I thought was interesting was now that he kind of broke the rules, right? Like
yeah,
even warfare and things, like there's kind of like certain rules, and for the son to have kind of done this, he calls them savages, right?
yeah,
And yeah, and so that term was thrown around, and like barbarians been thrown around like so much, in
yeah,
regards to like to Blackthorn, and now like by kind of breaking the rules of engagement, now they've all become like savages, and it's gonna be his presence there that's gonna make that word or that idea like stick even further, yeah, it's pretty
yeah.
interesting.
Because the rules of engagement, right? You don't attack the messenger.
Right, yeah, yeah, never kill the
You always
messenger.
had like, yeah, you
uh,
always had the one person from each group who would come and communicate whether to negotiate or terms or whatever it was, or to declare the war, declare the
right.
battle. Right? It's like you let them in peacefully, and you let them leave peacefully.
Right. And at
Right?
this point, like they were kind of, I mean, everyone's kind of ready to kind of throw down or whatever, but they've all been under like these different pretenses, like, oh, you want to impeach me? Well, you can't without five
Yeah.
members of the council. And so they're all kind of like skirting around the actual like conflict. And now this dude just set it off, and it's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
He just started a
Uh,
war that I mean, maybe his dad wasn't ready yet, right? Maybe
right.
there's still more stuff he has to do and more people he has to get on his side and create conflict. But
Right.
that part's understandable. You have the young son who wants to prove himself, feels that his father
Right.
doesn't respect him and sees him as a little boy. Everyone else sees him as a kid, right? Even earlier when they're having, when he was sitting with what's his name? Yeah, is it? Yeah, I think he was sitting with Yamashige and the other guy with the eye patch, and he's like, he's just a
Mm,
boy, right?
right, right,
So that pushes him to try to prove himself.
right.
Oh my
Man,
gosh, this show.
one thing I was questioning was the Asano's nephew. Like, what is his kind of plan? Like does he want to get rid of his uncle, you think? Like,
It didn't seem like it. It just seemed like he's basically riding on the coattails of his uncle, right? The more his uncle can get, the
um,
more he can get.
right, but then that girl was kind of like, trying to get into his head, saying like
Yeah,
you should be our lord or whatever, And I
yeah,
feel like him having that conversation with Toranaga's son, it's kind of like that they're like the next generation, and I feel like
yeah, yeah. You're right.
right?
I,
So like
I forgot the whole
maybe
part with the courtesan.
yeah, so maybe like the next generation, they're kind of they have their own plots too, and I think we're supposed to see some type of like either like a comparison or a contrast between Toranaga's son and Asano's nephew.
Yabushi.
Yeah,
Yabushige's.
yeah,
Yabushige's nephew.
right. And I think, you know, yeah. I mean, would you like betray your family to like to gain power or whatever? I don't know, man. I mean,
See, I mean, well, here's the thing. I mean, we can. One thing I've always thought was, like right now, me, if let's say my family was super wealthy and there was an inheritance battle between my brother and I, for me, it's like, it's not worth, like, go ahead, just give me some money so I can live off and enjoy, and you take the rest. All right, I'm not gonna fight you for it.
right.
And I always thought when you see those movies or TV shows about kings and stuff and kingdoms, and where the siblings are killing each other, they kill off all their brothers and sisters so they can, right? And for me, it's like I wouldn't want that, but that's because that's me now. Who knows how I would think if I was in that position at that time in those days, right? Where that kind of stuff was actually a little bit more not common, but it was kind of known to be that people would do that.
I think that still happens now. Like, I feel like I like almost every day I hear a story about Korean people and they're fighting over money with their families.
Yeah. Well, fighting over, but to like brutally murder your family,
Oh,
that
right.
that's so.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
again,
we're a little bit more civilized.
Are we? I mean, the crazy serial killers and stuff we have.
No, I mean, it's not like
we are more
like,
civilized though.
Right, we don't like
Well, I think,
slap each other with gloves and go dueling each other like or anything, like a.
Well, to me, that was actually more civilized because that was an outright, hey, let's face each other and fight it out, rather than I'm gonna go behind your back and backstab you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah. Semantically, that is more civilized.
In that way, and I think, what was I just gonna say? Oh, I think the reason that there isn't more of the old days of killing your family and trying to take is mainly because of the laws and the technology we have for you to get caught. Right? There's just a higher chance, so they're like,
right?
Because if you kill off your siblings and you're king, guess what? No one can touch you, right? Because you are the law. But here, it doesn't matter how rich you are. If you kill off your family, you're going to jail.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So
I mean,
that might be what stops it. Most of the time, usually they're supposed to, at least.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah. So, but as I am now, no, I would not want to, fight my family for any.
Right.
Well, let me say it differently. I wouldn't fight them to try to claim something that wasn't mine, right? Like an inheritance. I would fight them to defend what's mine, or what's at least my immediate family. So something that belongs to me, my brother, my dad, my mom, I would fight against my relatives.
Okay.
Right? Because now at that point they're trying to take it away, rather than it's something that I'm supposed to receive, and it's like I don't care.
Oh, it's interesting. So this is in regards to like Asano's nephew. Like, does he have that greed in him? Like, what is he trying to like? What is his plan? Is he gonna let this girl like get into his mind, and is he gonna like, I don't know, do something that may betray his uncle or something? How about Toranaga's son? I mean, it's another kind of I think that's another type of greed that he has for like reputation, right? I think
honor.
Honor, right? He feels like disrespected and undermined by all these people, and maybe even by his dad. I think they argued earlier in the show where he felt like I can do this, and his dad was like, nah, like chill, right? And I feel like those types of things have kind of pushed him to go to do something crazy that no one was expecting. I don't know, like what's gonna happen. Does his dad just say like, okay, you made a mistake, but now you gotta help me win? Or is it like, you made a huge mistake and you've dishonored us, so like oh man, show me your guts.
That was my thought. That was my thought when that after that scene, after the shock went away from that scene, is what is Toranaga gonna say and do, right? Because he obviously he went on his own to do his own thing,
Right.
Right, started the war prematurely.
Right.
Right, but it wasn't in, at least in the son's mind, it wasn't because of ill intent. It was to help prove. It was to prove to his father. Plus the fact that he's saying, if they see what we do and they leave, they're now gonna know our tactics.
Right. Right.
Right. So there was some justification in that sense.
Yeah, there was
So
some tactical like reason I don't
yeah,
for doing it. It's not like completely just like an emotional thing. I mean
yeah,
it mostly seems emotional, but also yeah, in terms of like he could say yeah, we couldn't let them go or we'd lose or whatever, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, I wonder.
As
I
far,
uh-huh.
I was gonna say, as far as Yabushige's Yabushige's nephew, I think it's slowly creeping into him. I mean,
Hmm.
they went so far as to they went so far as to show him with that, I forget her name, the courtesan.
Hmm.
And when they're having their scene, he tells her that he loves her, right?
Right.
And then they showed her earlier where she's sitting there playing that instrument and
Right.
she's listening to their whole conversation. So she's obviously putting these thoughts in his head. And I think little by little it's creeping into him that, like,
Right.
maybe, and I think seeing Toranaga-san doing this might trigger something in him to be like, yes, I need to also man up
Ah.
and do more. All right, so let's talk more about the details of the show itself. Again, it's filmed in Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's I can't say enough about the cinematography of this show. Right, one of the scenes that I keep thinking about is when everyone arrives in not Osaka, in I can't remember the region they're in, but when they
Like
get off the boat and
a Jiro?
a Jiro,
No.
is it?
Yeah, I forget. Yeah.
But they show all the soldiers standing there and they're all cheering, and there's a couple shots where it shows first it's kind of, you see Toranaga and I keep forgetting his name, uh Yabushige
Mm-hmm.
and Blackthorn and everyone there, and you kind of see some of the soldiers, but then it goes to a shot where it's behind the soldiers and it's going out, looking out onto the ocean or the lake or whatever it is, and there's just a crowd of these soldiers all lined up, and it kind of shows how much more massive everything really is to the scale
Right.
of it. And just wonderfully done with the cinematography, and then like we said at the beginning, the score, it really, I mean, it's so subtle there. It's not like modern movies, right, where or modern TV shows where they have modern music, whether it's
Right.
pop or rock, whatever the popular genres. But the way the score is just, it's so subtle, but it pulls you in or pushes you out of every scene that's going on, that you know it,
Yeah,
it's
it's very
fantastic.
impressive. Yeah, I think like when I see some of those shots, especially like obviously it's like a mix of kind of like locations with like CGI and
Hmm.
mixed with like really elaborate sets and stuff. Yeah, it's really impressive. I wonder how much of it is like done on sound stages and how much is done like on location, um, and how much is like maybe just like green screen or blue screen or something. But yeah, it looks really impressive. It's like a beautiful show. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up something real quick.
Sure. Are you looking up which is the bigger river?
Not yet. I'm
uh,
gonna look that up next.
uh,
uh So the Shogun says two large sound stages to film the interiors for Osaka Castle, the gardens, and the Catholic mission, and parts of the ship Erasmus.
okay.
Right, and then they use two exterior backlots and a mountainside location, and then a virtual set. So they did have a good mix of all of it.
A good mix of everything. Yeah, and they probably just
Yeah,
combined everything. Like, yeah,
yeah.
that's
Oh my gosh, man! I'm still blown away by the end of this episode.
yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, I knew he was gonna do something crazy, but man, that was like violent, unexpected. It was like it was pretty
just
impressive.
showing them shredded up and in
Yeah,
pieces, you know.
yeah.
But
And
I
that
think,
dude's
you know, when you're talking about Yabushige's nephew, I think after this incident, my thinking is that, you know, because Yabashige was trying to juggle both sides, right? Because
right,
he's trying to betray one to work with the other, but he has to show that
right,
he's loyal to both
right.
without each other finding out. And I feel like this is gonna maybe something where Yabushige kind of, to his nephew, he shows some kind of weakness,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
And that might be
Yeah.
the spark that makes him go, hey, you know what? Maybe I can do a better job than my uncle.
Right. I mean, essentially, he kind of has like blackmail material, right? If
Mhm.
Toranaga comes and said, "Dude, what the hell's going on over here? Why was like Josen even allowed to like be here?" Maybe the nephew could say,
Mhm.
My uncle said it was cool because my uncle's playing both
Yeah,
sides, right? Maybe, you
yeah.
know?
I mean, he could. I feel like he would still at least stay loyal on that aspect.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Maybe, I don't. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really interested to see what happens, dude. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. I'm like I said, from episode two, I'm sold on this show. There's
yeah.
there's no doubt anymore about how good this show is gonna be.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna finish it here then. Everyone on YouTube, thank you for joining us, watching this, watching episode 4 of Shogun with us. Please remember, it is a cut down version. It has been edited, so even the end of our commentaries, I end up chopping a lot of that stuff off for the YouTube videos. If you'd like to check out the full length reaction, you can check us out on patreon.com/watching whatever. Uh, this show, Shogun, is available on Hulu, so you can watch it along side by side with our commentary and our reaction for it. Please remember to like and subscribe and leave us a comment. Let us know your thoughts about the show. What some of your guesses are with what's going to happen to all these characters. Also, if anyone knows what exactly Hatamoto is, and some of the earlier question I had of Mariko with her accent, is her Japanese fluent, or is there a little bit of an accent that you can tell in it? Right? Just something more I'm curious about. And everyone who's checking us out on Patreon, thank you again very much for your support. Shout out to Soundbeam, our patron supporter. We thank you very much. And we're going to be back with more episodes here. Bye.
Thank you.